Hi, good morning. So I am doing a challenge where I'm trying to read all of the Harvard classics before the end of 2022 is my goal. And I just finished volume 2.
It is 2022.
I know, 2022 starts today. Today is the first day of 2022. I just finished the second volume, of the Harvard classics. So I'm going to give my brief review of the golden sayings of Epictetus. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know. And also the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. And both of these, and there's also some commentary at the end about the life of Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic philosophers in general. And both of these guys are Stoic philosophers. Both of them, so what stands out to me is the theology. Both of them believe strongly in God. Marcus Aurelius doesn't believe as much in the immortality of the soul. Guys, shh. Okay, but Epictetus is very devout, does believe in the immortality of his soul. He even puts in hymns in there in his writings, which I liked. One quote that I really liked that both Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus had versions of, don't pick your nose, buddy, are that it's a kingly thing to do evil, or to do good, to do well and be evil spoken of. It's a kingly thing to do well and be evil spoken of. Another quote from Epictetus that I really liked is that wherever a man is against his will, that to him is a prison. And then he mentions that Socrates never went to prison because he went willingly. And so prison is imposed based on your mindset. And I like that. I like that phrase. Another thing that I liked, another quote from Epictetus that I liked, is that it's impossible for a man to begin to learn what he has a conceit that he already knows. Just kind of the idea that in order to actually learn something, you need to be humble enough to acknowledge that you don't know it. And I like that. Epictetus makes some great points about how it's not death that causes distress, but the fear of death that causes distress. And then there's one other quote that I really liked where he says, "Keep neither a blunt knife or an ill-disciplined looseness of tongue." So I enjoy carrying around a pocket knife, and I think that that's good. You shouldn't have a blunt knife, and you shouldn't have a loose, an ill-disciplined tongue. So I think that those are really wise sayings. I really like the golden sayings of Epictetus. I would really recommend them. I like the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius a little bit less. They're a little bit less readable to me, but he does have some good quotes. He says that the universe is transformation, life is opinion. So essentially saying that things and circumstances change, and that change is very normal. We should expect change. And our quality of life is entirely based on our opinions, that it's in our heads, that we get to decide what we want our quality of life to be. On a similar vein, he says that loss is nothing but change. So when we die, it's simply a change. When we lose something, it's just a change. And that what we believe about that change is what causes the quality of our life. Take away the opinion, and then there is taken away the complaint, is another quote. And I also like that he says, it's not right to vex ourselves at things, for they care not about it. So if your car is giving you trouble, it's not right to get angry at your car, because your car doesn't care. I like that quote. And then another quote that I liked from Marcus Aurelius is, "Thou hast not leisure to read." So like if you don't have leisure to read, you might not have leisure to read, or the ability to read. But thou hast leisure to check arrogance. Thou hast leisure to be superior to pleasure and pain. Thou hast leisure to be superior to love of fame, and not to be vexed at stupid and ungrateful people, nay, even to care for them. So he's saying you might not have the time to go and work on improving yourself and go reading, but you have the time to be a good person and to not get upset about stupid things and about stupid people. And to be humble. You have the time to do that. You have the time to be a good person. And that's really what's the important thing, is that internal virtue. So I like that as well. So yeah, it's good. I highly recommend it. Harvard's Classics, Volume 2.